Okay, so stick with me now. We have been doing kind of what I like to call an Optimus Prime week and a half. We looked at the Devastation Optimus last Friday, then we looked at the Studio Series 1 Optimus, and now we're going to look at the Baiwei oversized KO of the Studio Series 1 Optimus. This is on loan, as is the Studio Series 1 Optimus. Both of them are from good friend of the channel, Daryl. Previously, I looked at a Baiwei offering being the KO of the Rise of the Beast Scourge. And I said then, whether you had the official or the KO, both are excellent, both are fantastic, a little bit different molding, but the materials feel really good, everything felt great. So this guy should be better than the actual Studio Series version, right? Is he? Is he not? We're going to find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe while you're at it, my baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is the KO. It comes with a bunch of extra accessories. I will show them off. I don't really know what they're all used for because the instructions don't really show it. Not even sure where they all came from. But without any further ado, let's see how good this KO really is when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so today, courtesy of our buddy Daryl, we're taking a look at the Baiwei oversized KO of the Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, which was a deluxe. And we recently looked at that Studio Series Optimus and I said, it's fine, just sort of boring. Previously, from Baiwei, we looked at the Rise of the Beast Scourge, whatever way you want to pronounce it. I kind of like the sound of Scourge, though. And I said then that it feels every bit as good, if not better, than the actual Scourge release. So, like, I've already had a pretty positive experience with Baiwei. Is this guy going to be as good? Well, here's the packaging. It says deformation, model level deformation toys. I mean, it is what it is. It's obviously him on the front. It's the exact same thing on the back. So that's kind of it for the packaging. He comes with this blaster, which I think is part of an included add-on kit. These blasters, extra smokestacks. I don't really know what these are, but there's two of them. This nifty little blue blaster, and what I presume to be a backpack. An extra head. This is actually the Optimus head that came on him. Daryl changed out with the Orion Pax head, but this is the Optimus head. It's nice. Very, very, very metallic. And a version of the blue Energon axe. This one has some gold fading paint detail added to it. And here we have the official and the KO. The KO has a brighter, more vibrant red. It's like the yellowy, warm, ugly grays on the official are all replaced with silver on the KO. The KO is obviously larger, and the blue is a brighter blue. So it's definitely more vibrant looking. I'll give it that. But to say that the materials feel as good as the official would be an outright lie. They really, really don't. There's a number of issues with this guy, but we'll get into it in just a moment. For now, you can kind of see how both of them look. We're going to take the official one out of it and focus on the KO. Because we've already seen the transformation going from the way he comes in package, robot back to vehicle, we're now going to do vehicle back to robot in the other direction. So if you want to know the way he comes in package, go and watch his review because it's the same transformation. But if you got yours and it's in vehicle mode, stick around because we're going to do the transformation back here. So we're going to take that out of it for now. Okay, so a couple of things to note before we kind of go too far. I'm pretty sure these are meant to be replaceable smokestacks because those can come out and I think these can go in. So if you want bigger smokestacks, I guess you can do that. I think that's the intention of those, but I can't swear to it. The This is obviously one of the blasters from the movie. We've seen those before. I don't know how the backpack goes on either. This, I assume, much like the official, would still store down here. It's not stored there, but I don't see why it wouldn't store the exact same way, since this is an exact recreation. Again, I'm not trying to fit that in under the kneecaps because this does not feel good. But, and maybe this could fit on here or something. I really don't know, because honestly, and I didn't show them, but the instructions, and I guess I'll show them now, like the instructions really don't show a lot. Like, there are steps very much skipped on these. They're not good instructions. And they don't cover what to do with, like, this at all. If you know, if you're a huge Transformers 1 fan and you know, then cool, I guess. So I'm going to take all of that and just lay it, hear that? I'm just laying it all off to the side for now. I will try and figure out, though, how we put the backpack on when we get there. I guess we'll try that. And it looks like the backpack should be up this way. I'm willing to guess these two little rectangular tabs probably go notched in where I think they're supposed to go notched in. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. He rolls fine, I guess. But Daryl stated that he had to adjust tons of screws on this guy. I had to adjust screws on this guy. So that's two of us, and we both had to adjust screws on this guy just to make him functional. And even then, it's not great. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we can begin by bringing up the toes, because we might as well do the transformation. And I think I already said that he rolls fine. We can also bring up the hands off the thing. This can come up. It's the top of the roof, I guess. And the head in here can come out, turn around, and come up. Just like the official, this top piece here, I think, still comes up. Yes, it does. I'm not getting it to go up now, but it's pinned on. We also, just like the official, take this off. It's a lot looser on the KO than on the official. Okay, now the fun comes. Pick the arms off of the little tabs down on the bumper. And now, what you need to do is get the section here of the shoulder to swing back so that you can swing the arm up and close it. Same on this side, but I'm going to tell you now, these two black joints, which are gray on the official, are super tight here. This one's a little bit looser than this one, but this one is uncomfortably tight. I do find, and you're going to see how much I kind of struggle with this now, they don't just swing out because it's too tight, and you're going to, if you just try to swing them out, you're going to break it off right here. You really, really got to try and get it from the hinge in here. In fact, I don't know, but this section might be die cast. Then you can bring the arm up on this pivot here and close it in. That's one arm done with the smokestack turned around. The other arm is the scarier one because this hinge was so tight. I'm hoping I've loosened it up a little bit for Daryl since starting it, but oh my goodness. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. But we got that done, and we got that up. Oh, that was so not pleasant. Just the feel of it. We can straighten these legs down. We can turn the whole thing around. Fold this in, bring it down. Split the legs. Fold the outside flap to the inside. Same over here. Take the outside flap with the wheels and you fold it to the inside. If this was still pushed up, bring it down and over. Then the other tumultuous piece, this thing, the roof, it's almost like the screw's not long enough and it's really tight. Now, I see how this works. Okay, so this thing here, the way that it should work is we have vertical horizontal rectangular notches and a little notch up above it. This should be able to kind of fit on over those little notches, and these might fit in between notches right there, but none of it's very deep. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's give it a try and see. So it should be down this way. Should be just over those. Does not seem to want to stay held well, but it is done there. I'm going to stand him up. Boom. This is his robot mode. So here you can see the size difference. Obviously the new one is much bigger. I mean, it's Voyager, if not Leader sized. I would say Voyager sized. You can see the official Optimus down in the front. By the way, I never did get this to actually tab in. It barely tabs in on the official. I just couldn't get it to stay in position. Like, the tabs are there. I just couldn't get it to stay in position for Optimus. Also, in case you're curious, we'll be able to kind of see which one you sort of prefer as we go through. You can see both blasters, they're fine. The backpack, it tabs in actually pretty darn securely into these two slots using these two pegs. The official, for the record, also has those slots. So if this is from like an add-on kit, cool. The two blasters, again, they fit fine in his hands. We can take those off. I know I haven't given him scores yet. And we have the sword, which again can go in his hand just fine. Okay. And I just want to check one other thing here. Yeah, okay. So, the transformation. It would be, again, about an 8.5, like the official, if I didn't feel like this screw was a bit too short for the backpack, and if the screws that hold this and this weren't as idiotically tight as what they are. This one over here, the head is already chewed up on it, so trying to loosen it didn't work very well. But you shouldn't have to buy something only to have to loosen all of the screws that were tightened into it. I don't know who works in these factories sometimes. I'm going to say that the transformation for this is about an 8 because the materials just don't feel great. In terms of robot mode, I mean, which smokestack do you prefer? The taller one here that kind of goes up and almost out of frame, or the normal one? That's up to you. I'm going to take this one back off and just put on his normal one again, just because. So, an 8 for the transformation because the materials don't feel great. Like, this doesn't feel as good as the Scourge. Or this doesn't feel as good as the Scourge. There you go. The look for the guy, though, is definitely better. We have the black detail here, the black detail here. We still don't have it on the hips, but we have the yellow detail here. When we looked at the official, I noted then how the gray wasn't right. I think the silver here is. I noted how that one was missing the black detail, and while it had the little bit of yellow right here under the chest, it was missing the yellow detail down on the lower tummy. I mentioned how it didn't have the black as it's supposed to have down here. The only thing this one is missing is that. The black, like at the hip, say. It's definitely better looking. Way better looking. Everything is so shiny and metallic, and there's a ton of paint on it. Yes, by the way, if you're curious, this still opens up. The matrix is still in here. Does it still pop out easily, or it's a little harder to get out now? No, it still pops out easily. It's translucent. It's painted. It's nice. It's a nice matrix. Does it peg in easily? Yes, it pegs in no problem easily. That roof section can still come down. For look, I'm going to say 10. I think they nailed it for the look. So an 8 for the transformation because of the feel of the materials mostly and the overly tightened joints. A 10 for the look. Let's do the articulation. The head goes left and right. It can look way back as the official can. The shoulders can T-pose all the way out. There is a forward butterfly slightly shown with this one because the forward butterfly doesn't really work with this one. It kind of does, but this one's more frozen. In terms of the shoulder going all the way around, again, Same problem. This right here gets caught up. This screw molded detail, this right here gets caught up behind this. So you got to take the arm out a little bit to try and get it all the way around. Though I don't. Oh God, that doesn't feel good. I don't like the shoulders on the official. I feel like with the lackluster materials, they're more compromised here. I'm only comfortable taking the shoulder that far forward. Elbow to 90 degrees, bicep swivel, wrist rotation. Now, unlike the official, we do have base pin knuckle fingers to open and close. We still have a waist that goes all the way around. It's not really a waist, it's up here under the chest. This still needs to pull up all the way. The hip skirt still needs to pull up all the way to go forward, to go all the way back. Out to the side. So full splits. Thigh swivel is good and tight. Knee to 90 degrees. Toe down, ankle tilt. So the shoulders, again, they're the hindrance. I gave the official an 8.5 for the articulation as well. This guy, again, because of the shoulders and they just don't feel good and the materials don't feel good, I'm not comfortable manipulating this guy. Let's see, he was getting an 8 for the look. An 8 for the transformation and a 10 for the look, which was a 9. I think the articulation's about a 7.5. I think this might be about an 8.75, 8.5, 8.75. It's okay, it's pretty good. But if you're gonna get this oversized KO of this, you have to know that the materials don't feel the best, and be prepared with a little screwdriver that you may have to loosen or tighten a ton of the screws. If you're okay doing that, this guy is probably worth the get. But if you're not okay doing that and you have a real problem with the tactile feel of subpar materials, then this guy might be a pass. And here we are once again, here he is, and I probably sounded kind of negative in the review because there's a lot of negative here, but it's not all negative. Let's do the negative first and kind of end on a positive note. So the negatives. Daryl said that he had to pretty much adjust every single screw on this guy, and it still wasn't enough because these two black shoulder pieces, I had to adjust both. This one over here, infinitely worse, and the head of the screw is actually kind of chewed up. I would advise Daryl actually to try and loosen it even more. I just didn't want to do it. However, that then affects transformation, that then affects articulation. This time, there's a screw in that hinge. It was pinned on the official. And with the official, you had enough play in the shoulder that when you wanted to go all the way around, though that joint right there gets caught behind the windshield and behind the backpack, you're able to maneuver the arm to get it out. Because the materials here don't feel good, I'm not comfortable maneuvering the arm to get any further than this. And that's an articulation problem because of bad materials. This one over here is in even worse shape. So poor materials make for, actually I'll say poor materials and poor clearance issues here and here make for arm limitations. The transformation feels pretty much the same as it did here, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also just sort of boring. If anything, it feels a little more nerve-wracking because the materials don't feel as good. But everything moves just fine. Now, with materials, clearance issues, and really having to adjust all the joints out of the way, there are positives. I think this very much looks more like the version of the guy that we got in the film. He can certainly stand imposing behind your lineup of Transformers 1 bots and look like an heroic version of Optimus. I like the silver that was used. I'm glad they added like the black details that the official was actually missing. So there's a ton here actually to like, and honestly, it's a good size, a little bit bigger than Studio Series 86, which I think is a good size for an Optimus. This has a lot going for it, including all of the extra accessories, but what I found was when I took it out of the box and I got past the sheen and the shine and the look of the guy, the feel in hand, and the actual experience of manipulating his parts and his plastic just didn't feel good. I expected better at a Baiwei, and I didn't quite get it with this offering. I hope that that's something that they rectify in the future. For now, let me know what you think about this Optimus. Did you like him? Did you not? Did yours have the same issues that Daryl did with his or not? I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a minute, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.